How you doing, Manginas? Tanky Toddler here, and as you can see, I got a new haircut. And I'm gonna put my hat back on, because this is what it looks like. It's actually it looked a little different earlier. It's flat now, because my hat. But I hate haircuts. As you see, I shaved my face too. It was needed. It was definitely needed. It had been a while, and I'll get to that in a second, actually how long it had been since I've got my last haircut. But, yeah, so I'm gonna tell you guys, because I have stories about everything, apparently. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about why I hate haircuts, and I'm going to tell you guys what happened to make me hate these haircuts. And just to give you an idea of how much I hate haircuts, I would rather probably go, I shouldn't say for definite, but I think I'd rather go to the dentist office than get a haircut. Even though the dentist office does take a little longer. But I think I dread more getting a haircut than I do going to the dentist office for some reason. I don't know why. It's just actually I know why, and we'll explain why. So here's what I don't like about haircuts, and like I said, we'll get into the stories. One, I just don't like the small talk. It just seems so forced, you know. You just go there, you talk just like a little bit. Oh, how's your day going? How's your weather? Where'd you go to school? What you doing with your life? How big is your wiener? And they ask me all these questions, you know. I'm like talking to them, and I'm trying to like ask them questions too, but I mean, I'm really nice about it, but I'm just really not that interested. It's like I'm going to see this person one time, probably in my life, and then not see him again, and then completely forget about them and have no idea what they answered any of those questions. And then the next time I come in, if I happen to get them again, we do it again. We pretty much just rinse and repeat. You know, same questions, same answers, but we forgot because it's been so long. But unless you have your own salon lady, then it's obviously different. You get to have a connection, and that's different. I had one of those for a little bit. But so let's get into the stories. I have a couple. I actually have quite a bit of haircut stories, which is really surprising because that's really dumb to have stories about them. But also to give you guys a background of how many times I got a haircut, my last haircut was July of 2014, and the one before that was 2 days before, so December 23rd, 2 days before Christmas of 2013. So my last three haircuts have been in 2013, 2014, and 2015. And obviously today I shaved too, so now I look a little younger and goofy as fuck. Goofy, maybe less goofy. I'm not sure. I look pretty weird with all the long hair and the beard. The beard will come back again. Probably not as long as it got. I'm gonna kind of maintain it a little bit more. I've never had a beard with short hair, actually, because I've only gotten a haircut like for work, and they wouldn't let you rock a beard, and now I can rock a beard, so we'll see how it looks with short hair. Probably just as gross and ugly, but we'll find out in like a month. But okay, haircut. So my last haircut, I'll go from the most recent ones all the way back to when they were not as recent. My last haircut, I got at Sport Clips. A lot of these last ones were at Sport Clips because I like to go in there and watch some sports. You know, there's a bunch of TVs around. You don't have to make as much chatter. You know, even when you do, you're just like, nod. You can't nod your head, but you know, you're sitting there getting your hair done, hair did up, and watch some sports. Which also, sorry, not going to the stories yet. Thought of a great idea by me. Two ideas. One could be a topless haircut place where everybody's cutting your hair is topless. Yeah, winner, moneymaker. Hello. Great ideas here. Shark Tank, Mark Cuban, hit me up, baby. Topless haircut. What would you call that? I don't know. I'll think of a clever name later. I'll probably think of like during this commentary. I need to put this down. I'm fucking diddling with something with my hands, and that's where my left hand is. But or at a strip club, just getting haircuts at a strip club. That would be dirty. I think the topless one's a better idea. Okay, story time. So last time I went, there was this blonde girl there. She was around my age, I think. She probably was my age, or still is. I don't know. Maybe she's not alive anymore. I didn't see her today, but she was kind of tired. She told me she looked like she was tired, and she was like, she kind of just told me her whole life story type of thing. Like she actually just explained her whole night. So it was kind of weird, you know, because usually they don't like just keep talking and talking and talking. But man, she was talking her ass off to me during my haircut. You know, I was like her little. She was like, it was like a confession. It was like a little confession booth for her. But so she was telling me how she has a couple kids. She was really drunk last night, so she's kind of hungover. She's on 2 hours of sleep, she told me. So I'm like, great. I'm sitting there, you know, listening, laughing, you know, because she's trying to say funny stuff, and I'm like, this she's hungover, maybe even still drunk, cutting my hair right now with like no sleep, and it really like clicked all of a sudden to realize how tired or drunk she was or something. She just goes, she like goes in the mirror, she's like kind of goes like this, and she goes, "Did you say anything?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't said anything for a little bit." And she's like, "Oh, I just totally spaced out for like 2 to 3 minutes." And I'm like, "What the fuck? You're cutting my hair right now. This is what I have to look like for a long time." And that's the thing too. They always ask me like, "What do you want done with your hair?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I just want to look shorter hair, and I don't want to look like a nerd." And so like I used to have it memorized like in by inches when I was younger what haircut I would get, but then again I was skinnier, and so actually it's probably the same length now, and it doesn't look as good because I have chubby cheeks now. I'm fat as fuck, but so it doesn't look as good now. But I used to remember it. I picked up this fucking koozie again. Okay, I lost my train of thought. I used to know the measurements what I want. Now I have no idea. I have no idea. So they asked me there. I'm like, I don't know. Do whatever you want. Like I'm your fucking sculpture. Just do things to my hair and make it look okay. You know. And so never does. It usually has potential where like I like it when it's about a month or more grown out a little bit longer. You know, I don't want as long as it was, but I want it longer than it is right now. So hats all the time though. I always wear hats, so it's not that big a deal. So the one before then, and this is what it reminds me of, is because I went in there and she's like, "So what do you want?" And I'm like, "Yo, I want this." And you know, I had kind of an idea because I looked up some stuff online, like what kind of measurements you're supposed to get to look like certain things. And she's like, "No, we're not gonna do that." And I'm like, "She joking?" I was like, "Haha, oh." And she's like, "Yeah, we're gonna do something different." And I'm like, "What the fuck? Why'd you even ask me that?" Like she had a completely different idea. And by the way, it looked like total hot garbage. It was so bad. I don't remember what it exactly was, but I was it was so thinned out. I remember what it was now. It was so thinned out where like she had put gel in it and spiked it, and like you could see more scalp than you could see hair. It was crazy. And I just remember going home and I'm like, "Oh my god, what'd she do to me?" And I found out her name because she gave me her little call, and they give you your card or something, so you call back again. So like, I would call the day before. I'm like, "Hey, is so and so working there?" And they're like, "No." Like they're thinking I wanted to make an appointment. I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll come in anyways." But I was checking, so I didn't have a chance. It wasn't like a Russian roulette moment where 1 out of 5 of the hairstylists here, cut people, are gonna pick me, and I'm glad it wasn't her. So yeah, that was weird. She just didn't even listen to me what I wanted for my hair. She gave me something fucking weird. Um, and so another one. This was different. This was funny. This one was freshman year of college. This video is last for forever. This is about done, luckily. But I was freshman year of college, and I have there's another story I just thought of too. Fuck me. Freshman year of college, I was really drunk. I was drinking with some buddies, and they went to leave for a little bit and come back later. And I had some friends over. They were kind of drinking, just getting kind of started pre gaming, and somehow it came up where everybody knew I needed a haircut. My hair was long, not as long as it was a little bit ago, but it was longer. I needed a haircut, but I didn't want to go buy it and pay for a haircut because I mean they're not expensive, but for a freshman in college that doesn't have a job, they were expensive, man. Like $15 is a case of beer they could have got, you know. So and then you had to tip them, so that's even extra and all that stuff. And so it got somehow decided. I was drunk enough that convinced me that there was a couple girls there I didn't really know very well. They were really hot. They're like one of my friends, and actually a lot of the girls there were good looking. So that probably didn't help. And I was drunk, and so they're like, "All right, we'll cut your hair." Like I had some experience. What I think one of the two of the girls said, and so in my own mirror, in my over the sink in my dorm room, three girls and one dude cut my hair. And at one point I got sick. At one point I was like, I need to go to the bathroom really quick. Midway through the haircut, I went to the bathroom to go throw up. One of the guys followed me in there, and he was a really goofy guy, and he's the guy that like cut my hair for a little bit, which I was really nervous because he's different. And so he's went in there, and he's like, "Yo, what's up? Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "I'm just getting sick. Don't tell anybody in there. You know, don't mention it. Just say I'm using the restroom, and I'll be right back." You know. And he goes in there, and I didn't find out until the next day. He went in there. He's like, "Yeah, Ryan's just taking a shit." Like, no joking or at all. Just like actually thought that was better than me actually throwing up alcohol, you know. And so I went back in there. They finished it up, and it wasn't bad. It was actually good, and it was free. They had fun. I had fun. I had a haircut. It looked good. It actually looked pretty decent. So I wish that opportunity still was available. It's not. That was in Minnesota, but a free haircut. It looked decent. It looked just as good as any of the sport clips people have done it so far. But yeah, then another one recently too. This is the Christmas one, the one this girl, and she used to be friends with my ex-girlfriend in high school. It was kind of one of the scenarios where we knew each other. Like, she's like, "Ah, you look so familiar. I think I know you." I'm like, "Yeah, we went to school." She's like, "Oh, but there's something else." And I think it clicked to her, and it clicked for me. I didn't say that. I didn't say like, "Yeah, you were like really good friends with my ex," and she probably talked a lot of shit about me. You know, it never came up because I think we just didn't talk about it. But my hair was long again, so she thought it was funny. She did it in a mullet. She like took off all the front hair and all the back was just it was just a goddamn mullet. It was awesome looking. And she snapped a bunch of pictures too, and I probably show my ex, who maybe she was still friends with. I don't know. Probably blackmail in the future, like, "Yo, this is your style, rocking that mullet, baby." And then the last one is when I had a salon lady. God, nobody probably cares about these stories. This is just my little journal entry. And the salon lady, awesome. She was awesome. She was friends with my brother. She was older than me. She was like 30 something. And so and she had a husband, and that comes in the story later. But she's awesome. I went to her like multiple times. She actually gave me good haircuts. She did what I want. Very expensive though. $40 for a haircut. But I mean, it was good, I guess. It was a good haircut. And then at some point, my brother convinced me to wax my eyebrows, and it didn't really. It hurt a little bit. You could feel it, but it wasn't like hurting. The problem was I never got my eyebrows waxed, and I had things to go do. I had to go people to go see after my haircut, and I had just like lobster eyebrows. It was just red, like the whole thing was red, and it was horrible. So I had to postpone hanging out with these people for probably 4 or 5 hours until the swelling went down from my eyebrows. Anyway, so she was my brother was having a party at their house, and I went there, and she was there. She was awesome. I don't think I was supposed to be drinking at that point. I'm pretty sure I was like 19 or 20, and I did my first cake stand, and it was her husband that held one of my legs up for my cake stand, so that was pretty cool. I did a cake stand with my salon lady. So there you go. Those are my haircut stories. Let me know if you guys like haircuts or not. Sometimes, it feels good, and, when they use the razor in the back of that. Only benefit from haircuts, in my opinion. Otherwise, I hate them. Let me know what you guys think, and hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you do, and stay